Hello, everybody! It's your Wonderful Wind Maid, your Cruz Ship Servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service. It feels like it's literally just been a few days since I got to experience Season 3 myself on stream, and guess what? We already have a micropatch just a little bit into the season to just assess the damages that the changes have brought. I already kind of skimmed through it this time. This isn't completely blind, but this is a good meta report from what I've been seeing on streams itself, actually, and from what I got to experience myself. So, let's not hold back on it. Let us immediately delve right into things here. So, April 17, Micropatch. Hey gang, how's the new season going? Are you winning, son? Blah blah blah. System changes, new gameplay rule. We heard your feedback on this one. We're reverting the ability cooldowns from striking the core that came from the Season 3 update. The original goal was to add additional gameplay depth by giving players the opportunity to make more dynamic decisions around what to do with the core if they have possession. However, it's become apparent that this new rule has negatively impacted game pacing and promoted some unhealthy play patterns. They are making it so that you still get to hold the new strike cooldown. If you hit the core with an ability, you get your refresh strike. So you can still do your 1-2 punches to make them 1-2-3. So you can have a strike, ability, strike now, as opposed to just strike, ability, or ability, strike how it was before. You still get that refund, but it's only once per ability cast, so for multi-hitting ones, like a Barrage, like a Juno Ultimate, though actually I guess that's bad faith because it's Juno, but you get the idea there. Any multi-hits, so that, yeah. Like, once again, Kai Barrage is actually a great example, immediately off the top of the dome piece. Creations, rune creation, Atlas creations, whatever stuff like that is, will only refund it once if it hits multiple times. And hitting the core with strike now reduces your ability cooldowns being removed completely is the big crux of the matter. Because dribbling already was, of course, as more people got better at the game, dribbling rose up in prominence, and at the highest end, being able to control the core, because Switch Kits is, without a doubt, still the strongest piece of gear, especially after Strike Shot got nerfed in the Season 3 patch. Switch Kits still being the most pivotal piece of gear that everything revolves around, of if a speed striker, even just a striker with a little bit of extra speed against their opponents gets it, then that is pretty much core control 100% guaranteed. It has to drag the defender out to answer it at all times, and then it just kind of cascades from there. With the Season 3 stats already benefiting speed strikers even more, being Octavia, Kai, Era to an extent, it really became a bigger problem of they just get to dribble for free, they get a refunded ability cooldowns based off of it, and then they just get to force a lot easier, even though they are speed strikers and have softer forces rather than your hard force abilities of a Julia Dash Punch or an X combo or whatever it is that you may be. Fact is, dribbling itself was already being exploited. I say exploited, that's the wrong word. Was already being utilized, rather, for the right reasons of stalling for your ability cooldowns naturally, for stalling for your teammates to come back after being KO'd. But the fact that it just reduced it based on your strikes alone really exaggerated this issue and promoted those unhealthy play patterns exactly. So the best example I saw being used out of that was funny enough, Juno, exactly so, with some of my viewers talking about how, oh, well, you have Strike Your Friends already being refunded just naturally from the past Juno changes a few patches ago, so then you just immediately get your entire kit rotating ability-wise, and it's just horrible to have to deal with. Characters that, once again, like I said, already have insane dribbling prowess, so like Kai, that I already singled out before, now just gets so many more barrages for free just for doing his job. It's like he already has rapid fire and steroids, and it's just not fun if he just gets the core once. That's already 2-3 hits, that's already his barrage going down. It just became nuisances on not only perking them up, but also creating really weird, cheesy, stupid stuff. So like I put the Juno example out there, for instance, with reducing the ability cooldowns. We had stupid ones like Finny, Big Finish just immediately fed into your triple take, meaning fed into, yeah, everybody has to hit the core, but you at least can get 1 or 2 hits yourself if you're close to it, refund your whole ability kit, basically, and then that was just stupid. There's just a lot of other smaller, stupid, cheesier things, but the fact is, it did promote weird, stupid playstyles, and it just wasn't the best. Even though I did like the idea in implementation, fact is, when it's pushed to the extremes, it wasn't good. So, W changed for them, because I did, once again, feel that burn after a little bit, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Great, we're aware of the issue of not displaying which team is first picked in draft order. Yes, because Switching is great, snake draft is great. The fact that I don't actually see that little arrow pointing to whose turn it is in draft and who it is first is kind of a big deal for actually prioritizing who to ban. So, good for them on recognizing it. Hope that they can figure it out. Can't say too much about it. You can't just toxically say, how can they not figure it out if they already know about it? It's just an arrow. That's gonna take them a moment if they had to take some time to implement snake draft. So, just give them some time, everybody. Don't complain about it. I'm just happy that we're getting that change soon enough, you know? Okay. Strikers. Atlas. The weight of the world is providing too much. We're increasing the uptime of his range tools to compensate for him. Yeah, fair enough, considering how he lost a good amount of his speed, meaning that he has to really move a lot more forwards with momentum boots potentially, and commit a lot further with his primary if he wants to keep it at midfield and further up. So, fair enough. Finny was kind of bad, now will she be good? Finny was in an awkward state after the pats, considering how she got some speed, 10 speed. Not enough to really outpace Bruiser, so I'll use Rasmus, because I'm the Rasmus main here, for example, here. Rasmus still gets to outrange Finny with a pendulum swing directed. Even if they're at the same size, Rasmus and Finny had 10 more speed. Rasmus would just use Whiplash, both for the speed, and then they extended, recast range to just beat Finny anyway. And Finny getting dot 10 power for 10 speed didn't help her, considering, once again, Era, Octavia, Kai just naturally outsmart her otherwise. She just felt not the best in her toolkit. So making it so that she can almost compete, just 5 speed off of Octavia and Kai, while being, I think she's 5 speed up on Era, gives her a little bit more wiggle room, especially since, once again, her biggest glaring weakness is, not having a movement secondary. Being one of the few people that doesn't have a true movement secondary. So, this will help her out a little bit more and let her actually be a bit more of an able body. Because the fact is, barring the cheese kills, she very much so found a lot of value in pairing up with Brawl offensive forwards. So, hitting her power doesn't help her. Even if triple take hits 3 times, fact is that she still has to commit, and she still has to land a good bounce back misdirection, because doing it forwards doesn't do as much as you'd think, and the decreased power didn't help her case too, so fair enough to her. And once again, yeah, she just felt so bad with how it was either everybody else just either overpowered her quite literally or outsmart her. Goalie Kai is running circles around the competition. Your button is cooldowns touch to give the rest of the cast some breathing room, as much as Kai probably dislikes that. Yeah, Barrage and Digiblah standing hit, very much so. I think it is just also due to one. Yeah, even if they took out cooldowns, additional cooldowns after strike hits, fact is, Kai just, once again, ran away with this patch. It's so ridiculously stupid how much he benefits from everything here, because he is unmatched on speed. Big 3 is still in. Yeah, Sparkstack rotated out, but Stagger City is just honestly way better for Kai, considering how he could always use the extra CDR. And so he can at least get a good 8 to 10 CDR, a good maybe 20-30 speed just off of Peak or Reaver by itself, and that just already helps him skyrocket past anybody else. So it was just stupid enough, and glad he's getting the nerfs. He definitely needs it, in my opinion. Do I think it's gonna kill him? Oh, without a doubt, no. He's still gonna be irrelevant. But does this take him down a good notch? Yes, in my opinion. Maka's struggling to find her footing this patch. With this change, she may knock some other players off their footing too, so I guess it makes them even. Yeah, with the extra speed modifiers coming in, Maka didn't really get touched at all for her stats too much. Like, drastically, I mean. But she very much so was just suffering with the fact that she has to get a good perfect pitch in replacement for strike shot, if she's not getting strike shot, for instance, and she was really just getting beaten up so much. So the fact she's getting a little bit more power to help her, since she got a little bit of power with the Season 3 patch, I believe, if I remember correctly, and lets her actually brawl out a little bit more, and let her move her own lineup, rather than having to hold jump and base and hope for the best, considering how much people are getting abilities out of Season 3. Reverting the preemptive nerf on Octavia, she did not need it. Sorry, Auntie. Flow state, decrease the cool seconds. They did warn about it, about Octavia potentially running away with the speed stuff, and I did predict for it, but Octavia wasn't the problem. It was Kai and then the cooldown cheese that I talked about. It still is Kai, so fair enough. Yeah, Octavia wasn't seen as much. It's not way too buff this patch. What's his diet? We are stepping and hitting him with some immediate action for us. Yeah. As some of my viewers pointed out, with some residual changes, such as how Era's Bewitching Beam's power multiplication changed, and I'd say power plus to power multiplication changed, and then Etz's own round of buffs. Considering how we have statting traits bad, such as, well, we have Prize Fighter. No, we've had Prize Fighter. We had stats and stats. Now we get Rampage, or whatever the one that is at size plus every dual barrier destroyed. Etz is just feeding. We got 2 size traits in, which helps him. It's kill, or like, yeah, speed can run away, but fact is, any other bruiser was just getting literally out-muscled by Etz so much from the from support stuff being strong enough, like, you know, Era being fine enough. Finny, even if she wasn't in the best state, fact is, you didn't have to be the best Finny if Etz just ran over. You just had to debuff, and then Etz just uses one ability, and then he kills. It was really stupid. So, most of his kit getting hit. I say most of his kit. His entire kit getting hit. Understandable. Fair. Way needed, considering how the Awakenings took him over the moon, not just counting his own buffs. Might of the Awakenings. Might of Colossus. Colossus was a bit more mighty than we intended. Yeah. Once again, what was it? Built diff got rotated out, but we have Recovery Drone, 30%. We have Demo, that's 30% I think as well. We have Amon Titans, that's 25%. If you were a Powerhouse Poultron's Etz, because, you know, Demon Dice is still in the midst, so that could be another 25%. And then Might of the Colossus as well, plus Rampage. That's 6 Awakenings for size. That is ridiculously good. Because we always talked about, Sparked Zodia, Stature City, and then Orbit Zodia. You've been gone for like a season and a half. Why doesn't Odie not love you? I want you back. I love you. But fact is, even with Big Fish and Boat Diff being rotated out, Big Fish a while back, and then Boat Diff rotated out in Season 3, we have 6 different altering gear / awakenings for size. Size is a premium. It is, I feel like, the second most important stat right behind, with speed being the most important stats, size being the next over, considering how it eliminates so many 50-50 1v1s, enables you to just win them. Not to mention just your hitbots with dealing damage to enemies bad, and for a starter like Etz once again, who very much have dominated this past patch. Yeah. Very, very smart scaling back on all of those notes. Stinger, Orchard to Bees. Yeah, Stinger's burn, way too good, honestly. It still is ridiculous, even with the initial patch hits. So, very much so needed. I still love Stinger. This will tone it down healthily enough, but it still is very much so a good trade. Reptile Remedy. Remedy wasn't able to keep up the damage or increase the stealing powers with some new ingredients. Cause yeah, it's like the whole old Vicious versus Siphoning argument for which one should you take for survivability. Siphoning lets you poke, but it does not heal you enough as Vicious. And the fact that it's only been 3% of your initial stature, going up to 4.5 when Vicious was healing you, I think, 5% over, on your own percentage as well, it just did not compete, considering how much little stature you're already getting from striking the core anyway, and the fact that you have to be able to, remember, Reptile Remedy is competing with, Stature Swagger, or your new survival trait. It did not feel good, considering how Stature Swagger just propped on its own, whereas Reptile Remedy, you have to work for it, and the fact is, sometimes you're just locked out from interacting with the core, because it's in the corner, and then you'll just get hooked, you'll just get punched. You can't interact with the core at that point then sometimes, and, well, your Awakening's still dead, because you can't proc it. So being able to preemptively stop yourself from getting staggered out, and keep your health healthily enough up more, that's good, that's good. Quick Strike, removing the strike cooldown change, reverting Quick Strike if that was affected by it. So, less energy gain before, and strike cooldown reduction. Yeah, okay, well, exactly so, with dribbling being as impressive as it was for your cooldowns, but also your energy gain. Yeah, fair enough, I can see reversion. But that's it for the patch notes. Overall, very good micro changes in my opinion to immediately answer cries for the meta and for what I had seen. Now, I say tries for the meta, but at least, seen enough OS so far. Yeah, the people that have been touched primarily were either kind of suffering in some retrospects, or, like I said otherwise, were running away with the patch way too much. Overall, though, I still don't think the Chains of Power is going to be too shaken up. It's just it's not going to be as much of a priority on having to always ban Kai or Ets, or having to deny them in your snake draft and everything like that or so. So we'll just see how it goes. But at least for now, it's been your Wonderful Wind Maid, the Cruz Ship Servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service. Thank you for joining us at the Athens City Athletic, joking, like sportscast, for the April 17 patch notes, or Micropatch. And I'll see you on the course right field soon enough. Thank you all for coming on by.